So this is the ritual camera check. Yeah, looks good. Good day. My name is Martin Schweiger and I'm a patent attorney in Singapore. Today is Monday, 20th of October 2025. It's now 1 p.m. in the afternoon, high noon. The sun of the equator right above me. Yeah. So today is going to be a long video, I assume. Number one, over the past days I was quite inactive. For example, yesterday, Sunday, I didn't walk much, but I rather stayed at home. Somehow I was lazy. Then today is Monday, a public holiday. I believe I said it is Diwali. It's an Indian holiday. 5 days, I believe. And today is also my strength training day. I've eaten a lot for lunch, but only food that doesn't drive my blood sugar up. So I try to focus on fiber, probiotics, protein and fat. Just to give you an idea, when I woke up, I just had the coffee and some water, maybe today not even water. Usually I have lemon water with apple cider vinegar in it. And I consume about a liter or so apple cider vinegar per month. That's about 30 ml per day. And every day I consume one lemon at least, squeezed out, sometimes up to 3 or 4. And I like the taste. And it's also probiotic. No, my probiotics come from fermented food. I eat a lot of yogurts, different yogurts. Oops. And I learned how to do my own yogurts. Sorry. Maybe I go to the back alley, it's also not so loud. But there's more sun. So, yeah. I walk down, that's my plan now. I walk you down to downtown, the Arab Street quarter, and then from there I take the subway back to Paya Lebar. Plenty of time to talk. So, yeah, my probiotics, I learned to do my own yogurts. And what I do is I started with those probiotic pills. They come with the lactobacilli and other bacilli. I order them online, then crush them and put them in milk, let them ferment for 36 hours at 37 degrees Celsius. I measure the pH value when I start, which is usually 6, which is a normal value for milk. By the way, measurement, yes, I think is important. I will tell you later why. And when I stop, the pH value of the yogurt is usually between 3 and 4. Depends on how long I ferment it. I could stop early because the yogurt is then ready. It tastes good and has a good consistency, but the pH value doesn't come down. And a few days back, I watched a video about a doctor who discovered gut health, and he said that the pH value in the small intestine, Dünndarm, is between 3 and 4. I said, oh, I didn't know that, but I've seen that before, namely when I made my yogurt. Look, is this beautiful or not? This is Singapore. I really love my Singapore. Yeah. So, and yeah, so for quite some time, maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I tended to stop the fermentation of my yogurts when the consistency and the taste was right. But I really realized now, by watching a video of Dr. Davis, he's the gut health expert, and he said you need the growth of the lactobacilli and the other the bacteria, or what is it? I'm an engineer, please forgive me. Okay, but for me it's a bit like being a chemical engineer running a chemical plant. I don't know exactly why the chemical reaction works. That is what other people would tell me who study that. But I'm interested in that, but actually not really, because I cannot see those particles and hormones and working together. I find it quite boring, actually. That's also why I'm more into mechanical engineering and less into electrical engineering, because I never felt comfortable in working with systems that I cannot see. This is really unusual. You see a real back alley in many directions. That's Singapore. And also clean. The same in other countries. Not nice. And in some countries you even get assaulted when you walk through such an area. Not so in my Singapore. So now, back to the main street. No more back alley here, but no, there is one. But it's covered. Look. Wow, I love discovering such things. Look at this beauty. They built a building above the back alley, and the government still wanted them to keep that thing as a passageway. I just read here. See? No dumping. Do not block passageway with rubbish or stored materials. So, yeah. Is this exciting or not? Okay. And look at this beautiful row of shop houses. I really like it. I want such a shop house for myself. Okay. So my probiotics is yogurt with a very high number of living bacteria, so that these bacteria can reach my small intestine. That's the definition of probiotics. It's not only sufficient that you eat those microorganisms. Yeah, I believe that's the politically correct word. You wouldn't say that you eat bacteria, because bacteria is somehow linked with illness and antibiotics. Anyway, you know what I mean, right? So I buy these microorganisms in dried tablets, then I dissolve them in milk, keep them at 37 degrees Celsius for 36 hours. What is missing still is I need to refurbish my USB microscope, and then I have also a measurement for the density of the microorganisms. I have everything together. I just need to do it. I will update you once that is done. Maybe I even do it tonight. Then, at the same time, when I have my so-called, it's not breakfast because I don't eat breakfast, my lunch, which is whenever I feel like having lunch. I eat some yogurt with oil, can be smashed avocado or blended avocado, can be a few tablespoons of olive oil. Yes, yeah. Or yeah, I also have cod fish liver, and that comes with a
Sorry, what?
no problem. It comes with a. Is there a back alley here? I try. So the codfish liver always comes with some residue oil. That is also good. So I don't pour it away, I keep it and then mix it into my yogurt together with some onions, cut onions. There is no back alley here, they closed it. Refurbish the nice shop houses. I don't know whether I would want that. A whole row of shop houses is a lot of work. There's a back alley. Let me see. Yeah. Then yeah, it stops here. See? Cannot go. Yeah. Then I put some pepper. Usually, before I even start eating, I drink a cup of watered chia seeds and fenugreek seeds. And I mix in a tablespoon of psyllium husks. That's for filling the stomach and prevents me from overeating, as I did today. Because after that, after my probiotic, I thought I need some fiber. Okay, then I found some leftover kimchi. In the fridge. which I finished. And while I finished the kimchi, there's a passageway here. Yeah, passageway. And kimchi is also probiotic. So I believe today I'm good for my probiotics. Since I did this probiotics, I must say that my stool has improved a lot. Quite healthy, I believe. Yeah, I'm supposed to log all this into my Food Marble app, but somehow I don't do it because I'm not really up to a campaign currently. Still trying to find my balance back after being back from Europe. What nonsense is this? Back alley. Back alley is quieter. Also, you see more of the real Singapore. Yeah. Friendly people. Yeah. Yeah. So what I did is, I still found some Indian cottage cheese. If I only remember what's the name. You can have it in spinach and also in other things. They do it. But what I do is I just fry it in a pan with some butter and put onions and then fry it until it's outside crispy and inside soft. And it's a very nice protein source, they say. So I like it. I also like the taste. And as you can imagine, I believe today I have overeaten, so I really need to do a walk to burn some calories, also to train my metabolism and also my cardio. Can I walk through? Yeah, looks like a back alley. So today is back alley day in Singapore. You see something that you usually don't see easily unless you go with a local. Can I go through or what? There's a little staircase. And no, don't go to the Thai massage. Just go. That's a really shady area. Classic Western. Hello. Hello. No, thank you. No massage today. That's a nice place. Look at this. Then here, some music. It's really relaxing. So, I believe I'm through with my food, but what I wanted to talk about initially is the input that I get from different people. For example, I'm a member of a WhatsApp networking group, and someone asked, is there a clinic in Singapore that can measure my cellular health? And you can imagine, I have immediately replied that he can measure the change of cellular health himself. And I believe there are two ways, or three. And the first one would be measure the VO2 max. And the reason why I say this is because actually you would need to measure, among others, the mitochondrial health, because only when the health can perform its functions is it healthy. And for performing its function, a cell needs energy. Actually, any technical body needs energy for functioning. The body has a currency for energy which is called ATP. Don't ask me what the acronym stands for. I'm an engineer. For me it's good enough. And ATP is a bit like a carburetor in a car engine, an internal combustion engine. And also it will tell you the difference between a healthy and an unhealthy cell. If you have unhealthy cells, then there's a reaction ongoing that is not the normal one, which is OXPHOS, called OXPHOS. Oxidation, phosphor, something, whatever. Engineer, okay? So. And so the healthy one, OXPHOS. The unhealthy one is like when the cell is based on fermentation, product nutrition, I believe it's called glycolysis. There's a Warburg cycle, a German who got the Nobel Prize for finding out that cell cancers have a special metabolism. And then there are a few others like the mitochondria burning ketones, and also the mitochondria burning the products of alcohol. And probably there are more, I don't even know. It doesn't matter. What matters is that the more oxygen the mitochondria can consume, the healthier they are. Because the different fuels provide different efficiency, but the cell needs to convert oxygen into ATP. And same as in internal combustion engines, you don't measure the consumption of fuel, but you measure how much oxygen in the sucked in air is converted into energy, and that gives you a direct measurement for power. I've learned that in my industry detachment as a mechanical engineer student at a test bed for internal combustion engines. So I believe you can apply the same principle to the human body, and that means measure your VO2 max. The absolute measurement of VO2 max is difficult, if not impossible, because you need to measure the oxygen that goes in and the oxygen that goes out, and at the same time the power that the body applies, and also the, I believe that's a good description. But you see already how doesn't. So what people invented very early was methods to estimate the VO2 max. And you can guess already, being an engineer, I love estimation, because a cheap and good, simple estimation that delivers a cloud of imprecise individual measurement values would give you a very precise trend if you just measure often enough. And I'm also not so much interested in the absolute VO2 max, but I would rather want to establish a baseline and then work from there. See whether I deteriorate or can increase. Also over time, age, how would it change? So I protocol all this. And I posted this into the group. That was for the first cell health value. And you don't need a clinic for that. All what you need is actually a watch with a seconds hand for measuring your heart rate. And you need to measure your body power. You can do that in the gym with one of the tools there, a stationary bicycle or a rowing machine or you name it. The second value that I would measure in order to determine my cell health is how my metabolism is set up. And there's a value which is called HOMA-IR. I don't know for what that acronym stands, but I know that you need to measure your fasting blood glucose and you need to measure your fasting insulin. And I'm really surprised that doctors never measure the insulin. Because the HOMA-IR should be below 1, and for many it is not. And that means that there's a problem in the metabolism. And bad metabolism is always linked to a bad cell health. So Yeah, as you can see, we have left the Gelang area behind us, and we are now on the way to downtown. There is an interesting structure here, some gate, and there must have been a palace or something in the old colonial times. Yeah, English. There's no more palace now, I believe. Just the gate is left. This is a park where the foreign workers and the helpers would gather on the weekends. Quite nice. I remember that I went there a few months back in one of my videos. But I'm now on the way to the downtown area. Oh. Yeah. Old Terminal Lane. Old Terminal Lane. Yeah, I should do some research what that means. Terminal means has to do with shipping, probably. Could also be that this was the old airport when the planes still were run as boat planes, because Kallang was one of the finest airports in the world for such planes. And this really looks like a waterway, an open waterway where aircrafts could land. See? Here. Probably they didn't have the bridge that I see now in front of me. But it could be that this is the old Kallang airport. I must read up. So, yeah, I really would measure that one, the basic. And then also the inflammation value. Oh, did I just lose my script? No. Yeah, I lost my script. So what triggered me also was a video that I've seen. It was a talk actually in German language on the internet. The three main reasons for internal or hidden inflammation. And it was with Dr. Simone Kreth, Kreth. She's from Germany, and she was a triathlon athlete, and she suffered herself from what I would call metabolic syndrome, but she said it's inflammation. Actually, inflammation is one of the many ways that metabolic syndrome shows. Others are cancer, high blood pressure, erectile dysfunction, thyroid problem, yeah. So she gave a very long talk, 1.5 hours long, and she touched 40 questions, also more than 40 questions. And she confirmed everything that I know about internal medicine. And she's well in line with two other experts that I know, or three: Dr. Peter Lustig, Dr. Thomas Seyfried, and then a few others. I have 10 or so. There's Dr. Davis, there's many. Ekberg, Dr. Berg, many. You ask my chatbot, he will tell you whom you can trust. And they see civilization diseases as something that comes from ultimately poor cell health. And you can influence that, is the teaching, the poor cell health by changing your lifestyle, your eating habits, what you eat, many things. And that is also a shift in paradigm that the medicine changes from the doctor sees a patient, gives a diagnosis, it's called anamnese. Then you get into a drawer, I mean you get classified somehow. Then the doctor pulls out a pharmaceutical. You take the pharmaceutical and then you come back after 2 weeks or 3. And then the doctor would see the change and then would push you around on a chessboard mentally, giving you this medical or this medicine or that pharmaceutical. And the shift in paradigm is that you start from a different angle. You say that the body can heal itself, even from illnesses like early stage cancer. And you need to just make sure that the body is run in a set of environmental parameters that is according to the specifications. The engineer is speaking here. And I can do that well with any technical system. And I don't need to be an expert in chemistry or electronics or but all sorts of systems, because I'm a trained systems engineer. And we have methods to keep systems running within the specifications. Yeah. Okay, I crossed the street here. So. Yeah, you see Gelang in the far end, and here is downtown. But I don't want to walk here on the crowded street. I go inside. There's this. Is it King George area? Whatever. Okay. And so that's the shift in paradigm. And that has an influence on all the entire society. Because I'm a bit an expert into breweries in Germany. And beer making has a family background. 2 breweries in the nearer family. One is already closed for maybe 40 years. The other one is alive. But yesterday when I clicked around on YouTube, there came a video up then about 15 German medium-sized breweries from, I don't know, up to 40 employees being closed. And the reason, twofold. Number one, or threefold. Number one, the population pyramid. There are less younger people and more older people in Germany now as compared with 20 years ago. And older people drink less alcohol than younger people. Then the young people of today, they are more into these fancy drinks, Swedish, and which I don't like Red Bull or Coca-Cola. Oh, really don't like it. Also, I must say, ice cold Coca-Cola is really refreshing, but I really don't like it because of the sweet taste. The third reason why there is less beer consumed for these breweries is that the beer is more expensive than the industrial beer. And why is the beer more expensive of these smaller breweries? Because they make handcrafted beer. And handcrafted beer is more labor intensive, more energy intensive. The ingredients are more expensive because they buy in smaller quantities. The batches are smaller. So they are less cost efficient. And ultimately, for the big masses, what counts is cheap beer. Food must be cheap. Or the cheap people would say must be affordable. So here you have the three reasons. Now, you know also I come from the field of innovation, and for me that's a very clear sign that these small breweries must innovate. And it starts with hiring the right people for doing so, or finding the right one and getting rid of the wrong ones, which is in Germany very difficult because of the labor laws there. Then also, what product or service would they focus on? And I've discussed that a lot in my 4x4 innovation meet, the 1 hour talk that we have every week. And we analyze that, come up with ideas and what could be done. Quite interesting. So, and I also discussed with them, the brewery people. And when I combine Dr. Simone Kretz talk and the insight being you need to get healthy food, how do we get breweries to make healthy food? And I would try this. I mean, number one, you cannot just go top down and say, this is what you can do, and then we vary. These are the whatever parameters that you have, and now we must find the magic parameter combination that would bring us the mass clients back, because you want something like mass clients, something like you can do 15 million liters per year. That would be cool. And what is this? Good Cheer Bendemeer. Premium darts bar. CT Hub Level 2. Good Cheer Bendemeer. Good Cheer Bendemeer. I believe I come back. So, yeah, 15 million, 150 million liters per year, that would be a size. So, and I would take the Dr. Simone Kretz and also Dr. Davis' advice. Oh. Level 2. It's here. CT hub. A boulder. There we go. Didn't know that this exists. Yeah. So, I mean, can you see what I'm at? I want to say that there is a chance for the breweries in Germany who are used to make handcrafted beer, which is expensive, to produce healthy izakaya. Oh, I didn't know that this exists. I must come here. And then there's a good cheer bending meal. Oops. Yeah. Okay. CT hub for rent. Brunetti. Twin Island Noodle House. Good cheer bende meal. Quite impressive. Yeah. You can boulder here. Nice. All shops for rent here. So my idea would be, number one, I would do something that is 0% alcohol. Refreshing. It must be, so it must be a bubbly drink. Yeah. See? Then the next thing, it should come with a foam on it, so it looks like a beer. Then I can drink it in exchange as a beer when I'm in a social environment. Then the next thing, it should not be sweet at all. It must be herb. Is herb the right word? I believe no. It should be sour or like with a lot of hops. Okay, what I can tell you is this CT hub is not a success story yet. So what is also important is that it does not drive up blood sugar. Which is relatively easy. But in addition to not driving up the blood sugar, it should also not drive up the insulin. You remember before I told you HOMA-IR, the doctors never measure the insulin, but they measure blood glucose. And that's only one side of the coin. You need to bring down both. And here's where the breweries come in, the smarter ones. They need to check, because you can only experiment with it, I believe, whether certain beers drive the insulin up while others don't, and why. And I believe you can influence that by the brewing technique, by fermentation, by temperature, by filtering maybe, because there might be some residual malt pieces in the liquid, and that would be recognized as requiring insulin. They play polo here. I believe, was it not polo? No, I forgot. Baseball? No. The Indian way of doing it. For us, soccer players and Olympic handball players, quite a boring sport. So, that's my idea. And that drink would also have probiotics. Also, that makes it more difficult for storing. So I would have two different drinks. One which is just a low glycemic, low insulin, low blood glucose. And then the second one would be probiotic and low glycemic. And with the probiotic, the bubbly style can be produced. Also, I would really think of using carbon dioxide for making that drink bubbly. And then only the difficult part starts, because as I said before, when you do a new product, you don't start from the top down and say what are the parameters that I can change, and then you think the market might like this, and then you do this and this. But you must at an very early stage try out what people like most. Yeah. This is called Jalambesa. It's the broad road. Would also be interesting. By the way, have you seen when I do my walks, I'm never at the seaside, or very rarely. That's simply because I live so far away from the sea, the beach, that I mostly walk inside. And actually I find the walking inside town also quite interesting, because you see more diverse things. So I'm now 1 hour, almost 55 minutes into the talk. I could go on for a long time. What I want to say is that people wake up. I see that this is a mega trend, and what we want is some food that can be easily integrated into our daily routine. Must come with some good taste, which is a comfort. The low glycemic is good. Non-alcohol, low glycemic is good. Probiotic is good. I like it. And if I can, that disturbs me most. When I'm in a restaurant and I want to have my drink that I like, that is always difficult. And most of the time I end up with something that tastes good but is not healthy. And that throws me back hours or days in my weight loss program. So that's what I want. Drink something healthy. And I've done some simulations, and a probiotic, non-alcoholic, low glycemic malt drink would have about 100 calories or 200 calories for 1 liter, which means I can drink 5 glasses over an evening. I'm not drunk. My metabolism is okay. And I have only had 400, 500 calories instead of 1,200 or 1,500 when I drink beer. If that is not an advantage, then what? And I'm really willing to pay also for that. It can be more expensive if it only tastes good, and I can have it without the restaurant making a fuss because I'm having a special thing. If that is just normal, then I really would love it and buy it. Then for at home, it depends very much. I would also buy this for home, but then it would depend on the price, I would say. And the question is, how many other people like that are there? I've also sent this message to some of my friends who suffer from metabolic syndrome in the various ways, like cancer, one. And I hope that they would consider it. I don't say that you shouldn't take a normal conservative treatment, but in addition, look for the metabolism by bringing the insulin down. And the best way to do this fast is fasting. Today Monday, you know, tomorrow Tuesday and Wednesday are fasting days. Tomorrow would be water fasting. I reset my metabolism. I try to get my weight down from week to week. The baseline would be Wednesday after the dry fasting, before breaking fast. What is my body weight? I keep you updated. On the way to 93 kg. Yes, this is the Jalan Besar Stadium, Singapore. Now I need a subway back. I switch off my recording and then see you later. Oh, next time. Goodbye.